How's everyone doing? Big man Sam coming with another video. Gonna do a prediction for the Tottenham Hotspur versus Manchester United game. Before I do that, I just want to make a couple of points clear that I didn't make in my last video. And the first one, Ollie, I will never hate him. I will never hate him. I will hold him in high regard no matter how this managerial spell ends. He gave United fans, most United fans, the best night of their lives. If you're old enough to remember that, I was 7 years old when it happened. The best night of our lives. Football-wise, for me, my best night was losing my virginity. We'll move on, you know them ones. Yeah, I can't say, I will never say I'll hate him. It's not going to happen. I think there's no shame in saying that Ollie's done all he can. And I thank him for what he's done. I'm very thankful for what he has done with the club. I went to a couple of games at Old Trafford under Jose Mourinho. And the atmosphere before a ball had even been kicked was poisonous. It was toxic. It was horrible. You know, you had some fans singing. Always doesn't matter how it goes, you're going to have some fans singing. But I went to games under Louis van Gaal. More fans were singing, and it seemed like more fans was up for the game. With Jose, it didn't have that. It was just before the ball had even been kicked, before the players, while the players are warming up, it's just toxic. It was horrible. Then Ollie changed that. So I'm very thankful. And we have taken some form of progress. I think any United fan, if you say there's been no progress made under Ollie, then I would say your Ollie out views are blinding you. Because out of the squads that Mourinho had and the squad that Ollie has, I prefer Ollie's squad. You know, we don't have Antonio Valencia at right back and Ashley Young at left back. The midfield, not too much has changed other than Bruno. Rashford's playing better. We've got Cavani, we've got Ronaldo. Greenwood's actually getting a look in. Greenwood would have never got a look in under Mourinho. We wouldn't have bought Wan-Bissaka. We'd have bought, you know, a 27, 28-year-old right back. And it's just and the atmosphere inside Old Trafford is much better under Ollie. And if we're not careful, it's going to become toxic and it's going to become horrible again. Ollie's starting to divide fans now, and that ultimately leads to that atmosphere. The second point that I want to make is I'm not a YouTuber. I'm putting these videos on YouTube so I can stick them in Jason's Facebook group. Facebook take hours to upload even the simple videos. You know, I tried one immediately after the Leicester game. An hour and a half went by and it still weren't uploaded. It weren't even halfway because it was like 20 minutes long. The one on YouTube, I believe it took about 10-15 minutes. So I can upload there and then post a link in this group. I don't want to be a YouTuber. I have a job that pays me well. I have 2 kids and I have a missus. I don't have time to sit in front of a green screen. I barely get time to go to Old Trafford because of that. I don't have the money to do it because we have a house, we have 2 kids, and I don't have the time. When I'm not working, I want to be with them. So more time than not, I watch the games on TV for that reason. You know, I live in Peterborough. Manchester's not that far away. It's like an hour and a half drive. If we get a fast train, it's something like a 45-minute train journey. It's not far away for me to go at all. It's just the money and I want to be with my family. I don't want to be like, fuck it, I'll say his name, Mark Goldbridge. Nottingham Forest fan sitting in front of a green screen, splurring a load of rubbish about United. I don't want to be like that. I don't want to claim. Yeah, I just don't want to be like that. I'll record videos with predictions and reactions to games. I'll do that if people agree with me and they like what I'm saying and stuff. But that's all I wanted to say before I do the predictions. I'm never gonna hate Ollie, and I'm not a YouTuber. Going back to being a YouTuber, I couldn't even figure out how Facebook Live works. I couldn't figure out if people were watching me or not, or what. I couldn't figure it out. So I've got no hope in hell in becoming a YouTuber. Wouldn't know the first thing about editing a video, setting up green screens and stuff like that. Wouldn't have a fucking clue. So I'm not a YouTuber. Please don't think I am. The prediction for Tottenham versus Manchester United. I said in the last video, I think it's going to be a very boring game. Both teams, I believe, are in the bottom 5. That's just going by what Sky Sports are saying this is. Both teams are in the bottom 5 in terms of running, sprints per 90, distance covered, presses, the running stats. Apparently, both teams are in the bottom 5. And I think that reflects on the season that both teams are having. I think it's going to be a draw. I think it could be a 0-0, but I would put my money on 1-1. The thing with Tottenham, I've watched highlights of them this season. I watched the North London derby, and I watched a guy on YouTube who's like a YouTuber for them, a guy called Expressions. Some are going to hate him because of the way he talks and stuff. I actually talk a little bit like that. I'm trying to hold it down for these videos. I find him funny, and obviously he's venting his frustrations with Tottenham this season. And from what I've seen as well on TV and highlights, Harry Kane's playing holding midfield this season. So I don't know whether he don't look interested. He, even in the North London derby, did not look interested. So I don't think we have to go into that game worrying about Harry Kane. Previous seasons, I'd be going into this game like, we've got to stop Harry Kane, marshal him out, and let Wan-Bissaka deal with Heung-min Son one-on-one, because Wan-Bissaka is good enough one-on-one to deal with someone like Son. So I think it's a draw, mainly because neither side are good enough to win it. Both teams should be low on confidence. Tottenham just got put in a spliff by West Ham. I don't even want to speak about our last game. So both players should be low on confidence. Both lost derbies. The lineups, obviously, I don't know what Nuno's going to do with Spurs. Don't really care. We'll do a 4-5-1. It's Ollie. I think we can all predict the lineup. There might be 1 or 2 changes, but I ultimately think it will be David De Gea, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Bambi on ice, Slabhead, Shaw, McFred, Bruno, Greenwood, Rashford, Ronaldo. I don't think that's the right lineup. Obviously, Pogba's suspended, so we can't use him. I would personally go with a 4-3-3 of David De Gea, Aaron Wan-Bissaka. It's going to have to be Lindelof because I don't trust Bailly not to get injured, and I don't trust Jones not to give a penalty away. So it's going to have to be Lindelof, Maguire, Shaw, Fred, Bruno and Donny. I'll explain why Fred in a minute. Not Greenwood, Sancho, Rashford, and Ronaldo. Sancho plays for me on the right, so we can stretch the Tottenham Hotspur defence. Sancho can hug the touchline. That's what he does. It's what he did in Germany. Worked very well for him. Don't know why we think we can get him to come here and be like, no, change your whole game, play like this. But anyway, moving on from that. Fuck me. The reason I'd play Fred over Scott McTominay. Scott McTominay, I've noticed it this season in particular. He gets caught in shadows. He's always in the shadow of the person who's pressing our centre-backs. So, you know, Son might chase Lindelof or Maguire down. And McTominay will be in their shadow, and there's ups and downs for it. We can't build out from the back with McTominay in that holding position. If he's in a shadow of a player that's on the press, he's not a passing option for the centre-backs. But then while he's doing that, if that player wins the ball, McTominay is there on top of him and the centre-backs are there. So it offers a little bit more defensive stability. But if we're gonna progress, we need to start building out from the back good. All the top sides across Europe can build out from the back. You know, Bayern Munich build out from the back, PSG build out from the back, City build out from the back, Liverpool build out from the back. Barca are fucking shocking at the moment, but Barcelona are experts at building out from the back. I haven't seen much of Juventus this season. Allegri's there, he's a little bit pragmatic, so I'm not sure if they build out from the back, but even under Pirlo and Maurizio Sarri, they built out from the back. It's just the way top teams go about the business now. I don't think you can look at any top team in Europe and be like, they sit back and wait for the counter. You can't. It's not a top team mentality no more. It just don't work. The game's moved on from that. So I think we need to start learning how to build out from the back. And I don't think that's going to happen with McTominay in that holding position, because he's never in a passing position to receive a pass. He's never there. He's always in a precious shadow. So that's why I'd offer Fred, because he will be in a passing position. What Fred does with it is a different story. And I'd line up with a 4-3-3. I said it to one of the members of this group. I think it was Paul that I said it to. It's almost like number 10s don't work anymore. I just said about the game moved on. I think the game's moved on from 4-5-1 in attack. Because I think the number 10 now has either become a false 9 or what you call a false 8. A false 8 is like a wide number 10. They're a little bit wider than what a number 10 would be, and there's two of them in a 4-3-3. So the team that uses this the best is obviously Man City. When they line up with Bernardo Silva and Kevin De Bruyne and Phil Foden, they occupy as high as a number 10, but they're slightly wider, and there's two of them. And I think we need to adopt something like that if we're going to play out from the back. We need someone who can cope with the pressure in a holding midfield role, who can receive a pass and distribute it like a Gundogan, like a Rodri, like a Fabinho, like... what's his name at PSG? I can't remember his name. We'll move on. Like Kimmich at Bayern. All of them are comfortable receiving the ball, and all of them can play a pass to the false 8s. Certainly with City, Rodri, Gundogan and Fernandinho can all receive the ball and distribute it to them to and they work what they can with it. And to suggest we can't, right? Let's compare Foden and De Bruyne. We've got Pogba and Fernandes, or Donny and Fernandes. You know, we have the players. We have the same, more or less the same quality. We just need that holding midfield player that can do the same job. And also, get them fucking running. I can't stress about this running statistic. Since it popped up on Sky Sports, it's just stayed with me. Look at, I hate using City as an example. I don't want to be Manchester City. But if we're going to get to the top, you have to look at what Liverpool and Man City are doing. And with Man City, even, like we all know with Liverpool, Henderson and Naby Keita, they're going to run. They're engines in that midfield. But look at De Bruyne, Silva and Foden. You would think these are luxury players that you can afford not to run. I see Silva tracking back and making tackles in the box. I see De Bruyne running back and covering and getting up and getting back and getting up and getting back. I see Foden doing it. Yes, I watch quite a bit of Man City because they are good to watch. I'm not a Man City fan, not a Liverpool fan, far from it. But they are good to watch. If you're a football fan, you enjoy watching them regardless of who it is. You know, I was a football fan before I ever became a Manchester United fan. I enjoyed playing football on the playground with my friends way before I learned, you know, supporting a club and following one club and hating other clubs. I enjoyed playing football way before that. So I will watch Man City. I will watch Liverpool. I don't care if I'm not a true red for doing that. You know, there's no such thing as being a proper supporter. There's no such thing. You support the club in your own way, and that's good. That's happy with that. There's still people Ollie in. I'm not going to say you're not a true red. You don't actually support Manchester United because you don't want what's best for them. Because it all boils down to opinions. Opinions can't be wrong. So we need to get Bruno running. We need to get Pogba running. We need to get I don't even want to mention Donny because he don't play. We need to get them to running. We need to get the squad running. Look at their fullbacks. They bomb forward. Then they bomb back when they haven't got the ball. Ours jog. Jogging is not good enough at this level. It's not. People, I bet I know Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is thinking, if he's the one telling them don't run as much, I don't want you to get injured. Injuries are part of the game. That's why you build a squad. And building a squad, that doesn't necessarily all the blame fall with Ollie. It falls with the board. You know, we was holding out for 40 million for Jesse Lingard. We can all look and say he's not good enough for Manchester United. Academy graduate, all that, love him. Brilliant guy. What he's done at home with his family life and stuff like that. Brilliant guy. Brilliant guy. I've got a lot of respect for Jesse Lingard. You know, despite his football form, all the stuff that this guy went through, the stick from fans, the stuff at home, he kept his head held high. You know, we was holding out for 40 million. We know he's not good enough. Take what we can get, not what we want. Same with Fred, same with Bailly, same with Lindelof, same with Jones. We're holding out on money for Jones. I would take a packet of crisps to give to a homeless person for Jones. If you was a football club and you said, there's a homeless person down the street, I will give you a packet of crisps to give to them, maybe even a sandwich to give to them if we can have Jones. Here you go, I'll even gift wrap him for you. So that falls with the board. But then we have a decent midfield option, barring the holding position. Donny is good enough for us to take, Pogba or Fernandes off, rotate who comes off each game with Donny. He's good enough to start. He just needs games consistently. But back to the game, Saturday. I can't see it being entertaining. I just really can't. If neither team are going to run that much, it might be, both teams might think, well, they don't run, let's run. We might get that, but both teams don't run much. I can't see it being entertaining at all. I can see it being a draw. 1-1 is my prediction. Ronaldo to score. I don't know who will get theirs. I don't really care who gets theirs. What else about the game? There's nothing really that I can say about the game more. That's what I think it'll be. The predicted lineup is there. I can't think of anything else. There, that's it. Let me know what your guys' predictions for the games are. Just let me know your predictions. Leave likes, comments, get involved with chatting. What do you think the game's going to be? Peace. Big Man Sam, out.